Hi there, welcome to this football bet data video where we're going to give you some examples of value, define what value is in football betting, in any type of betting really. In simple terms, value is where you're being offered better odds than the true probability of that event happening. Simple explanation would be a flip of a coin. So to flip a coin, it's 50% chance of being head, 50% chance of being a tail. If somebody was to offer you odds of 2.1, which is effectively above evens, evens being 2, then you're getting value. 2.1 for it to be a head. Flip the coin, it may well be a tail. But if you do this over a significant amount of time, you will show a profit. So that's defined as a value bet. If you offered odds of 1.9 or say 5 to 6 on, you're not getting value. Over a long period of time, you will ultimately lose money. It may be that as a one-off coin flip, you win and you would profit, but value is deemed over a significant period of time relative to what the odds are. So in my example of evens there, what we're going to show you is how you can apply that same logic to football, and we have the data that will allow you to do that. So very simply, I'm going to show you from our fixture and results output section how you can start looking at value. I'm going to select the 4 main English leagues, and I'm going to select the last 10 or 11 seasons, going back to the 2009-10 season right through to the current day, and going to output that to Excel. So you can see the file starting to download down the bottom here. Now, depending on your computer setup preferences will determine whether this file automatically opens or whether it's saved somewhere onto your C drive. Given the output, we've selected 4 leagues, and we've selected the last sort of 10 or 11 seasons. It's going to generate about 25,000 rows, but as you can see here, the file is indeed ready to open, and you'll get this little warning pop up. So I'm going to select yes. The reason we get that warning is purely because it's a web-generated report, and it's just asking if you're happy to open that file in Excel, and we can confirm it is completely safe to do so. So as you can see, we've got the output now on screen from the download. Now what we want to do is strip out any of the matches that have not yet been played. So I'm just going to scroll right down to the end of this data section here, because this also, using the fixtures and results, will give you the odds of upcoming games that haven't been played. And what that's going to do is skew the data because we haven't got the results for those games yet. So I'm going to take out these games, just do a simple delete, and that leaves us with a clean set of data. Now what I've actually done is prepare a file already today with that data and with some additional tabs added, and I'm going to explain those in this video. It just saves me adding in all the formula during the video, which would be quite time consuming and monotonous and boring to watch, but I will give you an overview of what I've done. So we have the data output in this main tab here. As you can see, we sort of have 22,500 odd rows of data over the last 11 seasons. And then I've added in 2 tabs. Now one called odds is purely just the conversion of the decimal odds to a sequential number. So you can see the very smallest odds, 1.01, right through to the biggest, which is 1,000, and each of them have a number assigned to them sequentially. Now in the results file, a bit more complex, but I'll explain to you what I'm trying to do here. So across the top we have the seasons, and then in this section we have the home team, which I'm going to put blue, and in this section we have the away team, which I'm going to put as pink. And what we're looking at is the odds of the match to be entered manually in here. I've just put an example of 246 in here for the time being. And what this will do is allow us to find matches that have met that certain criteria within the league we're specifying, which is the E1, which is the English Championship as it's known now, over the last 12 seasons, including the current one. So where we've put these odds in, I've also put a tolerance of -3 and +3, and that relates to the IDs that we've shown here. So if we're to put evens in, which is ID of 100, having -3 and +3 gives us a bit of tolerance either side. And you can see those odds are then displayed in this table using a lookup. Done the same for the away. So away team odds of simulated of 6 with a plus or -3, 5.7, 6.6. So that just gives us a flexibility around that odds, and that can be amended to suit. You can put -5, or if you wanted it exactly on, you can leave those as 0. Now the odds that are used on the Football Bet Data website are the average odds at kickoff time, as given by all bookmakers. Now that's something you can easily find up to or close to kickoff as possible, because you obviously need time to work out the value and to ensure that the game is profitable, and indeed a value bet to make sure it is profitable long term. You can use websites such as Flash Scores, Bet Explorer, Odds Checker, who all give you a way of analysing the odds offered by all bookmakers, which will give you the average figure to plumb in here. So what we're going to do is explain this video. So here you can see that the home odds simulated of 2, draw of 4 and away of 6. Long term, this would not be a profitable bet if this was an actual match example, because this gives us the real-time odds. So for a game of that makeup, there would have been 446 times that the home team met the criteria of odds here, and 235 times where the away team met the odds criteria between these two parameters. And then what this does in the detail below is tell us how many home wins, how many draws, how many away wins, with the home team matching this odds criteria and the away team matching this odds criteria. This does the same, gives you how many home wins, how many away wins, and how many draws there were. This is summarized at the end here, so you can see the amount of home wins summed as a total, and then the conversion of odds, which is basically the total home wins divided by the total draws divided by the total, which gives you the true odds. And then at the end here, what we've done is sum the two together. So we've summed the total home wins with the home team in this odds parameter, and total home wins with the away team with odds in that parameter. So that's in essence what we've done to look at historically what's happened in this league, where the home team has had odds in this bracket and the away team's had odds in this bracket. I'm just going to put in one which is for a game tonight. So the home team has odds of 1.76, just approaching kickoff. The draw is priced at 3.62 and the away win at 4.77. Now, as you can see, what this has done is highlight in yellow where we've deemed this to be a value bet. Now, the value is that obviously the home odds being offered exceed the true odds. This will only turn yellow if the 1.76 is higher than the home team true odds, the amount of home wins with the away team true odds, and the total. So you can see in this occasion it meets all three of these criteria, and therefore determines that long term this would be profitable. Now we're comparing this against average bookmaker odds. That's the fixed criteria we need to use to determine what we're analysing is consistent. But that's not to say that you have to bet at those odds. You will find that there is bookmakers out there offering better odds, or indeed the betting exchange itself offering better odds. So you can increase your profit further by finding better odds than the average available. But the average should always be used before kickoff to ensure that you're comparing the data correctly to what we have already in the data archive. So that's a very quick example of how you can use formula, our output from Excel, to determine whether games are deemed value. As I said, with the coin flip example, it doesn't mean you're going to win with each selection you place, but long term this should prove and provide to you a consistent way of deeming where there is value in football. And we've used the home draw and away market here as the very basic example, but you could go further into this. You could look at over 1.5, over 2.5 goals. So instead of summing from the amount of home wins that are lodged in the database output, you can look at the amount of games that have had over 2.5 goals. You would have to apply a bit of additional formula into there, or alternatively, you could use our data archive, which is a bit more of an in-depth output. This was a very brief example to show you and put you on the tracks as to how you can start using our output to determine value. Thank you.